What's going on, MSFers? Duelam here, and today we're going to be talking about an all-new promo code to get you even more intel. We're going to be talking about the initial feedback on the Accursed team now that 4 of them are out and they are starting to wreak havoc in Cosmic Crucible. An update on where the path to orbs are at, since we have gotten absolutely none so far. And we're also going to be talking about the location of the Pride Gem. So let's do that first. In game here, we're going to go over to the Blitz, and then we're going to go into the North Star Blitz that is currently running. If you go to rewards, you go to milestones, it is going to be there in the first milestone. So that is going to be the location of the Pride Gem. You just got to get through milestone 1, which is pretty easy, all things considered. I also wanted to talk about this because I noticed this today, and I was actually kind of surprised at how generous this was, intel-wise. Earth's Mightiest Gift. This is probably one of the best calendars we've ever gotten, and I'm just confused why. It seems very odd. I don't understand the correlation, what this is related to. But hey, we're getting 200,000 intel for free, 5 million gold worth of training mats, 2 million gold in general, some older characters, which I don't really care about the character shards, but also 200,000 intel, which, hey, don't catch me complaining about that. That's pretty awesome. I'll take it. Let's over to Reddit. Is it me, or has this game become progressively boring over the last few weeks/months? And I've noticed a lot of people sharing this sentiment and saying this recently. I've seen a lot of people saying that this game feels like a chore, and they are just not having fun anymore. And it's interesting because it seems like we have more things than ever to do in-game, especially when it comes to PvE. But given this Reddit post and given a lot of people's feedback that I have seen, I'm going to make a State of Marvel Strike Force video. So if there is a topic you want me to cover in that, my current goal is to talk about all the game modes and how I feel about all of them. If there's something specific you'd like me to talk about, let me know down in the comment section. We'll make a good video about that. Next up, Negative Zone. Does it make sense that it keeps getting harder? And yes, it does make sense that it keeps getting harder. How is anyone who hasn't cleared any iteration of Negative Zone Harbinger so far ever supposed to clear it when it keeps getting longer and more difficult and requires new teams? Because it's not meant for you. This is end game content. This is supposed to be difficult. And I'm not a big fan of having to say that, but unfortunately, if they're not going to be putting difficulty sliders on things so everybody can access every single game mode and all of the content, then there has to be some content for endgame, and this is that content right now. Now, I know a lot of people have not liked that the last 4 nodes don't have any sort of callouts to raids, and we now have only the Crucible callouts. So if you see in game here, it's just Crucible rules, and you don't even see it unless you're in game and you hit pause. So the last 4 nodes are meant for Accursed, which I wonder how Accursed is actually going to do there. It'd be pretty interesting to see. I've heard the 4-piece Accursed does not do very well, but that's what Negative Zone is. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be difficult to clear. And unfortunately, they're not capable of making content that's accessible to all levels of play, which I don't know why. Next up, Professor X Saga is boring. And man, this is a take. I feel like Scopely really missed the mark on the release for pretty much the most iconic Marvel character there is. They've made Gear Tier 20 pieces so scarce and getting into the saga far too long-winded that a lot of players have stopped caring. Not only that, but once you finally do have enough Gear Tier 20 to enter the nodes, it's just full auto and not content. It's basically just a gear check. Well, let me tell you, you want to make the Professor X saga fun, take Big Time Spider-Man to Gear Tier 20, and you will have a lot of fun, because I actually had a blast trying to figure out the Professor X saga with Big Time Spider-Man. I had a blast, and I think it's unfortunate that I have to like make up my own fun in this game, but let me tell you, I loved it. I thought I had an absolute blast with it. I had fun trying to figure out the puzzles, see what works, messed with ISOs as well. But I understand where this player is coming from when it comes to, if you bring the right team, it doesn't really matter. And they're just going to roll over it, which I think is pretty stupid. I think that's not fun. That's not gameplay. And I've had to kind of create my own form of gameplay when it comes to this, because it seems like they're incapable, which is a little unfortunate. And yeah, that's why I'm taking some wild card picks and having a blast with the Professor X saga. Next up is Accursed, probably the worst team to be put out in over in years. There's too many ins in there. I know Thunderbolts are bad, but usually there's one character that shines that to the whole team is out. Songbird feels great. My take is leave this team on the bench because none of this team is great alone. That is by design. They are trying to make it so teams are not good alone, that they don't have plug-and-play characters. This is 100% design. And they also want those characters to stay in their lane. And what that means is if they are designed for Crucible, they need to stay in Crucible. They don't go anywhere else. They're not important, and they are not useful anywhere else. That is 100% by design and what they are trying to do because they are trying to reduce the amount of complexity in war because there's so many war defenses, so many different plug and plays like America Chavez, Ares, all that kind of stuff that's making the game way too convoluted for people in endgame war. And I kind of understand that, but unfortunately, that's the good part about the game because when you just stop thinking and you see a defense and you go click, I already know the counter, that kills the fun of the game in my opinion. But hey, I understand it can get way too extreme. So yeah, the team is meant to not be good solo. It's absolutely meant to be that way. But one thing I will say is making it so that in game the hood is good with only 3 of the members is really nice. I really like that it's 3 or more. So in Crucible, if this character has 3 or more, so you can use a plug and play. You're definitely going to drop Mordo once we have Satana up and running because you're going to put like Mephisto, Kahori, whatever it is with them. And I actually really like that they did this. I hope they do this more often where it's 3 or more and not requiring the full team like Vigilante. But yeah, this team currently is skippable according to this guy, but it's not skippable. It's going to be used in the next Quasar event, whatever it is for farther Red Stars, I'm assuming, because they're requiring the chapter characters. So I would not skip this team at all. I think that would be a big mistake. Speaking of Mordo's ultimate is bugged. Just wanted to point it out because I haven't seen a single post about it. Mordo's ult doesn't give defense up to Mystics. And yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Not a curse, Dark Hunter, or Supernatural, but it works in Crucible. So if you look in game here, in Crucible, let's see where it's at here. In Crucible, apply bleed for 1 accursed. If this character has 3 or more accursed, apply defense up for self for 2 turns to self and all Mystic allies, and that is currently not working. There's also a visual bug where instead of the portal coming out like behind him, it comes up like above the characters now, and it looks super, super wonky. So that also needs to be fixed. Not a big fan of that at all. Now, let's go talk about the new shop credits. Feels really bad as a new player. And this is something we have brought up to the developers multiple times now because this is something that I've had a lot of people who have second accounts or have just recently come back, and they have said that this is rough. This is really, really, really bad. And I'm out of shop credits because I spend like 75,000 a day and I have no way to really get more. For context, I've been playing the game for about 2.5 months now. Again, a real new player. When the multiple shop currencies were converted to one currency, I got very few shop credits because I only played the game for a short time. Obviously, the 2 million shop credits they gave when the change first happened helped a lot, but those are long gone now, and I'm pretty much at 0 credits. Doing all 30 battles for the first node of Chapter 1 of Bull Showcase is enough to earn 30,000 shop credits a day. And again, one of the people that I was talking to said that they're buying 78,000 credits worth of stuff a day, which is nowhere near enough. Consider the Peggy Carter or Hercules are worth 14,000 each. With the old system in multiple currencies, I could effectively farm at least 1 character from the shop per day, sometimes multiple characters from each shop, but with this new system, I can essentially farm just 1 character total per day, which is just so much worse for new players. And yeah, they are aware of this. I don't know what their path going forward for this is, but they are aware of this and they are working on a solution to this. So stay tuned for that. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Red Phoenix event and how absolutely terrible it is. So I went through this event here and I realized that I didn't get any sort of Red Phoenix orbs just for completing like the first time rewards. There was no like free orb anywhere or anything like that. You're going to be getting 40 fragments per 10 energy. So it's pretty much 200 cores per 1 orb you're going to be getting. And I just don't think it's worth it at all. If we look at the drop rates in game, they're mediocre. Like, they're not bad, right? Like 1 to 16, you're guaranteed to get at least 3 shards per drop. And it's a 1 to 16, it's 10% for a 16 drop. I wish there was a jackpot even in there, even if it was like a less than 1%, because that causes some fun, right? 40% at 1 shard, 30% at 4 shards, 20% at 9, 10% at 16. It's not terrible, but the problem is spending 200 cores to get a minimum of 3 shards, a maximum of what? If you get super, super lucky, 20 shards is just not it, and I don't think it's worth spending your cores on. Even in the bonus stuff, there wasn't even like a free orb in the bonus stuff. Now, I know people are going to be having the bonus things here. One thing I do think is pretty nice, if you do get the yellow stars, it does automatically give you the red stars for free. So I do think that is pretty generous. Now, let's talk about the battle pass. For the battle pass, there's 135 shards total in the battle pass, some gold, some training materials as per usual, intel on the free. There's some Gear Tier 20 pieces as well towards the end. Not a lot, though. I think there's now 6 pieces. Yeah, so 6 pieces, Bio, Mutant, Mystic, Skill, Tech, and then a little bit of Mutant here. I do not think this is worth it. Now, buying this pass would get me up to 5 stars, but honestly, Omega Red is just fine at 4 stars, and I don't see the need to purchase this, honestly. And I was kind of excited for this. I was hoping I would get like 200 shards from this pass, and then maybe I could core the event a little bit to get up to maybe a 6 star. That'd be kind of cool, but there's absolutely no prayer you're getting over 130 shards from the event going on from the orbs, because they're just not great, and they're not worth your cores personally. So yeah, next up, talking about the path orb question. If they aren't going to give us any shards for the orbs, why are they in-game? Helverine Path Orb, nada to date. Now we have the hood and nothing from either. Are we just expected to core these unlocks or blow intel? I have asked this multiple times. I know other people have asked this in the Envoy program as well. And we've gotten nothing. I have no idea what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I think it's foolish that they're not going to put that they're going to put the Path 2 orbs in the game, and then they're not going to actually reward them. I think it's very, very odd. I have no idea what's going on with that, but I hope it changes, because something is better than nothing, and I did enjoy the RNG chance of trying to get a character. And if they're going to push back the release a month, right, for free-to-play players, then there needs to be some sort of luck or something that we can get, because this is what they were touting was so important. There's so many people getting these characters much earlier than they were before because of these Path 2 orbs. They're amazing. They're great for the community. And now they just said, nah, they're just gone now with no player communication, nothing whatsoever, which I'm not a fan of at all. And last up, we've got a newest code, apparently, Intel Drop. I have not put this one in. I have no idea if we've done this one or not, but let's see if it does work. And it does indeed. Absolutely amazing. So there you go, another code. And if you're having troubles putting the code in and getting your rewards, it's a you issue, not a me issue, not a Scopely issue. It's a you issue. Keep trying. Clear your cache as well, like get rid of all the cookies. I've seen that happen a lot, but keep trying. Intel Drop, all caps. If it's not working, I don't know what to tell you. I just did it live in front of you, so I don't know. A lot of people were saying the code didn't work last time. I can't help you. Type in that code, get some free goodies. You know where the Pride Gem is at now. And make sure you leave a comment down below what you want me to talk about in the State of Marvel Strike Force video I'm planning on making. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.